with peestek. How to achieve almost anything you want the easy way. On this audio, I'm going to show you step by step how to liberate yourself from old limitations so that you can live your life much more fully, much more enjoyably, and also much more successfully. I'll show you how easily this can be done by using peestek repatterning. Subconscious barriers and limitations are what make or break people when they attempt to create any kind of success. And since that's my particular area of expertise, on this audio, I'm going to show you step by step how to achieve almost anything you want and to do it in the easiest and most successful way possible. After listening, you'll be able to live a happier life, break through barriers, get a dream job, make a business much more successful, earn more money, lose weight, enjoy better relationships, end procrastination, attract more good fortune, and achieve almost anything else you really want the easy way. Now, all of this can be accomplished by using the simple methods and techniques I'm about to explain on this audio. Repatterning isn't rocket science. It's straightforward to do and to understand, but there's a lot of ground to cover for you to understand exactly what to do and also how and why it works. And I'm going to explain why it works because I know you're far more likely to follow the program if you can see exactly how this is going to work for you. So I'm going to break this down for you into a number of simple steps, and I'll show you how you can do this using free peestek tools available on the website. Now, I've already repatterned many aspects of my own life, and I'm enjoying the success that's come with that, but there's always room for improvement, and there's still more for me to do, of course. But I want to show you how you can do it too. Obviously, you'll have your own ideas about what you want from life, and so I'm not going to be at all prescriptive. You have your own path, and you get to choose what's important for you. I'm not going to specify what you need to follow. Why? Because I haven't got a clue what your ambitions are or what would make you happiest. So you get to decide as you repattern your own life. Now, even though your wants may be different, the principles that have already worked for me and also for many other people can work for you too. All you have to do is to take it step by step and follow the simple system which I'll lay out as fully and clearly as I can for you. If you haven't got the peestek click tracks, be sure to get them because you'll need them as you work through this. Just trundle over to www.peestek.org and you can collect them for free. I'll just remind you of the name of the website in case you haven't already got them. It's www.peestek.org. For any police or state troopers that might be listening, that's Papa Sierra Tango Echo Charlie.org. Now that's where you get the free audio you'll need for this. Now, using the free tools, you can release yourself from limitations you've been aware of and also from others that you don't even realize are there, and those are the ones that really hold people back. Now, the peestek click tracks are a tool which I invented and created and which you can get for free. They've found use all over the world in a very short time simply because they work so well, usually astoundingly well. Now, the click tracks usually get used for ridding people of problems such as phobias or anxiety, and very often such things melt away in minutes, but there's so much more you can use peestek for. You can use it to repattern your life and your levels of success and achievement. On this audio, I want to give you the truly positive ways in which you can use it to change your life, how to do it, and how to make your life better. You can use this program in pretty much whatever way you wish. You can use it to increase your luck, get a better job, beat insomnia, have better relationships, make more money, attract good things into your life, and to accomplish all kinds of successes. Right from the very outset, when I first launched peestek, people have been asking me about this. How can it be used for abundance, to make more money, to get a better job, to increase my luck and good fortune, to enjoy happier outcomes, and to attract more good things into your life? And for a long time, I resisted laying this all out for people because I wanted to get as much user feedback on the audios first. I needed to be sure that when I produced this tutorial, I'd be able to cover everything that anyone is ever likely to ask about using peestek for phenomenal achievement. The solution is something I call repatterning. You'll see why later. And because the peestek audios and click tracks make this process so much easier and much more successful than it would be otherwise. I call it peestek repatterning. What is repatterning? Well, put very simply, you're used to doing things in certain ways, used to feeling certain feelings, used to thinking certain thoughts, and used to living in a particular way, all within well-established parameters. In other words, people live according to patterns. Most of the time, they do the same things, or at least many of the most important things, in the same or similar ways over and over and over. Doing things in the same ways over and over again generally results in outcomes that don't vary very much either. And so the same type of things keep happening over and over as well. If you want to experience things that are different and better, then you need to change the patterns that you both consciously and unconsciously follow. We can't help it, by the way. The way our brains are wired up means that we create patterns of emotion, thoughts, or behaviors, and then we repeat them over and over. For most people, once their fundamental patterns are created, they repeat them throughout their entire lives. And this is why, as Brian Tracy so eloquently put it, so many people live out their lives in quiet desperation. Changing what you do and the patterns that you follow not only opens up new and better possibilities, but it almost forces things to get better for you. And this is why peestek repatterning is so important. The patterns you unconsciously follow were created as your mind attempted to make sense of the world and your experience. Many date back to your childhood. It's sometimes said that people spend at least the first 30 or 40 years of their lives getting over the first 5. And for many people, it's very true, because beliefs about what you can and cannot do have their origins in your earliest experiences. In that context, as you grew up, your mind also had to find ways to function in all kinds of situations. But rather than create new solutions for every new experience, it's relied on patterns and applied established patterns to new experience. Similar situations are therefore repeatedly dealt with in similar ways by following those patterns again and again. This following of patterns applies to absolutely everyone. It's this, for example, that keeps you locked into certain levels of income, never achieving more success, and patterns have also locked you into certain ways of thinking and feeling about yourself and also other people. peestek repatterning easily lets you break out of those limitations and enjoy better outcomes by doing things in better ways. And best of all, it's extremely easy to do, but there's quite a bit to work through to get this program working for you, so it's going to take us a little while. But remember, you can apply this to pretty much whatever you like. I'm going to explain exactly how to do this ABC style with as many examples as I can think of, but I'm also going to give you plenty of background information. And that's because by understanding why this works, you're far, far more likely to take the time to do it. There are 2 easy ways to repattern using peestek to give yourself far better outcomes. You can do non-specific repatterning. That's a repatterning process which treats you as a whole and which progressively releases all kinds of limitations, many of which you may not be aware, but that doesn't matter because you don't have to target them specifically, and it will remove them anyway. Working in this way can open up all kinds of abilities, better feelings, and often delivers what seem like absolutely amazing opportunities, some of which might be very surprising indeed. Non-specific repatterning has tripled people's income in a week, landed them company directorships without asking, made other people much more attractive, so they've attracted a lot more romantic interest, brought wonderful feelings of joy and happiness, triggered fast, spontaneous weight loss, and so on, and all sorts of other things. Now, all of these and many more have already been reported by peestek users who've inadvertently repatterned themselves in non-specific ways. But here, I'm going to show you how to do it by design. If you just want to enjoy your life much more and to live it much more abundantly, then non-specific repatterning is really important. Alternatively, if you have particular goals in mind, you can repattern certain things. Now, this focused form of repatterning is called specific repatterning. Specific repatterning allows you to decide exactly what you want and then change your non-working patterns into ones that do work to move you towards those outcomes. Once again, because of the way the mind works, the new patterns operate predominantly below awareness, but they allow you to achieve what used to be impossible goals. What is peestek? Well, if you haven't come across it before, it's a suite of audio-based tools which are now being recognized all around the world as possibly the most powerful way to create personal change ever created. And this makes peestek absolutely perfect for repatterning. As I record this, peestek, which I invented and created, has rapidly gone worldwide. It's seeing ever-increasing use as more and more people recognize its truly amazing capabilities. In less than 12 months, the tools I created have taken me from obscurity to a level of notoriety I could only have dreamed of, and it's increasing every day. I don't do 9 to 5 anymore. Work-wise, I now pick and choose what I do. I get to decide who I work with and also when I do it and on what terms. If I don't want to do it, then I don't have to. I don't think in terms of limitations anymore. I think in terms of possibilities. Because of automation and online sales, I make money while I sleep, which I know is an ambition of a great many people, and on a one-to-one basis, the fees for my personal services with regard to therapy or coaching have risen very sharply indeed. Now, another thing that's happened is that I'm now approached with all kinds of interesting opportunities that I'd never have been offered before. And as I record this, steps are being taken to take peestek into the corporate world and also the world of education and schooling. But the most important and by far the most satisfying thing that's happened to me personally is that peestek has already changed countless lives for the better. It's liberated people from all kinds of nightmarish problems, prevented more than one suicide, and it's allowing many people to enjoy their lives once again. What could be better than that? I do want to make an important point here. If you want to repattern yourself for any kind of success, then to get the best results, I personally advise the following. Volunteer to let go of resentment, anger, and hatred if you have it, because they'll never serve you and they'll never help you fulfill your full potential. Now, this is practical advice. It's not moral advice. It's practical advice. If you want to feel good about yourself, then repatterning in this way will always produce the best results. Repatterning helps you feel better about yourself and also other people. You can't be fully successful in repatterning and hang on to lots of hatred and resentment for others because that's wasted energy. And that's energy that you can use for constructive things to make your life better. In repatterning the way I think about success, I've also taken steps to ensure that on an individual basis, people get more out of peestek than they have to put into it. I'll explain more on this later, but there are very good reasons why on the website the basic peestek files are completely free. It's great because it allows you to do things like use these techniques. Now, this idea that when I produce things, people should get as much value out of them as possible is one of the reasons why peestek is growing so successfully. When I create products for sale, I make sure I do absolutely everything I can do to ensure that the purchaser gets the best possible information